Welcome to a taster of a USA Payroll training course. We are CIPP and CIPD certified international payroll trainers based in the UK. We offer both audio and virtual training at a competitive price. After this preview, should you wish to learn more about the USA payroll process and technicalities, don't hesitate to contact us. Training outlines. Read our disclaimer. Learning objectives of this taster. Training course content of a standard training menu. Our international payroll processing steps. Payroll is the compensation of business pay to its employees for a set period and on a given date. Payroll process can include tracking hours worked for employees, calculating pay, and distributing payments via direct deposit or check Investopedia. Pre-payroll activities. A written statement would include business name, employee's name, job title and description, and start date. Also, it should include an employee's pay, hours of work, holiday entitlement, employee's location of work, collective agreement, notice period, pensions, a guide on how to complain about disciplinary and dismissal decision, period of the stay, the currency of the paid salary, any additional pays and benefits, terms relating to employees returning from an expatriate work. Employment contract is an agreement between an employer and employees employment conditions. It is also called as terms of contract. The employment contract includes a written statement of employment rights, responsibilities, duties. Employer provides to an employee within 2 months of the start of employment. If the employee is working abroad, the written statement includes the following information in addition to what's included in the written statement of the employee working in the UK. Employment status. Types of employment status. A worker who didn't have the written contract and works personally for a reward like money or the promise of future work. Employee who works under an employment contract. Self-employed and contractor who runs a business for oneself and takes responsibilities for its success and failure. Director who runs limited companies on behalf of shareholders. Office holder who is a company director, board member, trustee. A court or employment tribunal will make a decision on the employment status. How to calculate payroll deductions. FICA refers to the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, which is the legislation that authorizes the government to collect this tax, better known as Social Security. Some payroll deductions are voluntary and may be taken out of a paycheck on a pre-tax or post-tax basis, as long as the employee provided written authorization. On the other hand, taxes and wage garnishments are mandatory, and employers who fail to withhold these deductions accurately may be liable for the missing amounts. This employee is monthly paid, no W4 used, single filing, 5% 401k, private health insurance or HSA is $200 per month, zero federal tax. As a full-year resident of Georgia, you will have to file an income tax return if any of the following apply to you. You're required to file a federal income tax return. You have income in Georgia that's subject to the state's income tax but not to federal income tax. Your income tax exceeds Georgia's standard deduction and personal deductions. Georgia requires employers to withhold state income tax from employees' wages and remit the amounts withheld to the Department of Revenue. Georgia residents working outside the state are exempt from Georgia income tax withholding if their compensation is subject to withholding in that state. Arizona payroll calculated systems logic. This employee is monthly paid 5% 401k, private health insurance or HSA is $200 per month. Using W4 data, married and filing jointly, single job, 3 dependents, no additional deductions, income, or federal withholding. Because the employer is in Arizona, she is subject to 2.7% state elected rate. Wages, salaries, bonuses, or other compensation paid for services performed in Arizona are subject to state income tax withholding with exceptions. FICA refers to the Federal Insurance Contribution Act, which is the legislation that authorizes the government to collect this tax, better known as Social Security. Some payroll deductions are voluntary and may be taken out of a paycheck on a pre-tax or post-tax basis, as long as the employee provided written authorization. On the other hand, taxes and wage garnishment are mandatory, and employers who fail to withhold these deductions accurately may be liable for missing amounts. USAID provides benefits to tens of millions of people. The USAID program was created when President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act on August 14, 1935. Today, it provides monthly retirement benefits and assistance to surviving children of deceased workers. USAID also benefits people with disabilities who cannot work and earn enough to live on. Year-end payroll test. Who are employees? Types of employees: independent contractors, common law employees, statutory employee, or statutory non-employees. Employees must have Social Security number SSN. Apply for a card using Form SS5. Termination due process. Give, pay, inform. Give former employers their firm paycheck. Pay immediately. Inform DOL and state labor departments about the final payment. Summary for 2022. Each employer must withhold Social Security taxes from the individual's wages, even if combined withholding exceeds a maximum amount that can be imposed for the year. Fortunately, an employer will get a credit on his or her tax return for any excess withheld. Federal Insurance Contributions Act imposes 2 taxes on employers, employees and self-employed workers. One for old age, survivors, and disability insurance, which is commonly known as Social Security tax, and the other for hospital insurance, which is commonly known as the Medicare tax. There is a maximum amount of compensation subject to Social Security tax, but no maximum for Medicare tax. What happens when an employee works for your business and has a second job? That employee would have taxes withheld from 2 different employers. Can the employer ask you to stop withholding Social Security tax once he or she reaches the wage-based threshold? Unfortunately, no. Key dates. Other deadlines. The federal holidays, with bank closures, allow at least 1 extra business day for direct deposit. Federal employment and unemployment tax deposit must be made on a business day, Monday to Friday. If a deposit is required on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday, you must make your deposit by the close of the following business day. Certain states follow the federal D2 deadline, while others have different schedules. If you're handling your end of year manually, you will need to verify the dates for the states in which you operate or pay employees through the appropriate state website. You should also verify that you've used the correct rate table for your state W-2 and 1099s. It's the most wonderful time of year, year-end. As you process payroll during this time, be sure to keep these dates and deadlines for the W-2 and 1099 tax forms in mind. Employers who process manual off-cycle payroll will be required to write checks to pay their employees. Other key dates in January. Other key dates for January and February. Get in touch. Check out our workshops and other international training programs on our website. And register either on phone or on email. For news and updates, follow us on social media. Thank you for your business.